Where do I fucking begin? Last week on Saturday at 1 o'clock in the morning, I decided to watch a movie, and I went into this movie with low expectations. And oh boy, do I ever regret watching this piece of fucking monkey shit. Really, it's really that fucking bad and terrible. I mean, hell, I would rather have a Vietnamese chick come in here and torture the shit out of me than to ever watch this movie ever again. Yeah, this is Derrick Yasha, and today I'm going to rant on Blood Monkey. That's right, you heard me. And also that this title is misleading, and you'll understand why later when I explain. The story and what the movie is about, or what the movie is about in the story. Yeah, it's really about nothing, really. As you got a bunch of generic douchebags going over there to douchebags, and basically they are on the hunt for extinct gorilla, or multiple gorillas. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. And of course, that this is a misleading title yet again. You should have put Blood Gorillas instead of Blood Monkey. Okay? And honestly, the story fucking sucks here, as it's lackluster, it's boring, it feels like it's like straight to Sci Fi Channel bullshit, which I guarantee you it probably was, but the station did not want it, so I'm guessing it belonged on Showtime or Cinemax or some bullshit like that, because of course they show real shitty cheap movies. But yeah, let's fucking get back into it. There's no creativity for the story, as this thing stole from a lot of movies. It really did. I mean, where do I start off? All right, this movie does not know what it wants to fucking be. All right, if it wants to be like a a sci-fi action movie or a horror movie or whatever the fuck, it doesn't know what it wants to be. And that, of course, is because of the terrible story. Alright? Characters. What characters? As it's just bland, generic, boring fucking characters that we don't really fucking care about. Honestly. And of course, you've seen them in horror movies and all of that. Yeah, you've seen them in a bunch of slashers. Of course, that you have the jock, you have the blonde bimbo bitch, and you got the nerdy bitch and the stereotypical bitch, and you got the nerdy guy, and just so on and so forth. And you got these two fucking pieces of shit over here. Yeah, this old bastard and this crazy ass bitch. Which there is really nothing to their characters, and they are more douchebags than the douchebags that's trying to help them to try to capture these gorillas. Yeah, pretty much so. So, yeah. Your characters are lifeless and boring, and my hand is a lot more interesting than your fucking characters in this movie. And the only likable character in the movie was the nerdy guy, but he fucking dies off and that's it. Other than that, it's other characters that you don't fucking give a shit about. Honestly. The acting, the acting by everyone except that nerdy guy. Well, the nerdy guy did an okay job, but he was in the wrong movie. mean, just the other actors and actresses that fucking sucked and it was bullshit. And basically, they can't act their way out of a fucking paper bag. Oh my god. Really. It is really that terrible. And of course, when they get terrified or something happens, they can't even act. And it's a bunch of bullshit, fakeness. It's just fakeness. How else do I explain it? Like, the way that they're acting is fucking horrible, believe me. And you don't need to watch this movie. I'm just saving you of you guys. I'm telling you right now. Like, honestly. So, your story sucks, your characters suck, and your acting sucks. So, let's get into the writing. What fucking writing? The movie doesn't move anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. Because, first of all, you don't have a good story, you don't have good characters, and you don't have good acting. And it's shitty acting at best, alright? The movie doesn't move from point A to point B to point C, as it just drastically drops from point A to point B and becomes worse at point C. And I will explain why later. Alright? But so far, your story is shit. Your characters are shit. Your acting is shit. And your writing is pretty much shit. Alright? This thing pisses me off at no end. Like, I'm just fed up and angry right now. Really. Alright. So, your dialogue. Your dialogue fucking sucks in this movie. It really does. Just stupid one-liners. It makes Dr. Giggles one-liners look like it's a piece of fucking cake. Honestly. This over here? No. No, I'm sorry. It's terrible. And your story is terrible, your acting is terrible, your characters is terrible, your writing is terrible, your dialogue is terrible. How bad could you fucking be, man? Honestly. Like, really. The cinematography and the visuals, I'll tell you something. You look at my hairy ass, and that's a 10 times better sight than the cinematography and the visuals in this movie, because sometimes it's like shaky cam up the ass and you can't see what the fuck is going on, and sometimes it's like you can't even focus on characters because the camera is way too zoomed in on them, and it's just utter bullshit. Really, it is. It's fucking bullshit, man. I mean, really. Okay, so the practical effects was fucking terrible, lackluster. There was no effort put into them. When half of the shit on this movie sucks and everything else had better practical effects than this fucking shitty movie. I mean, seriously. My god. Jaws 4 The Revenge had better practical effects than your piece of shit film. That's pretty bad. A worse movie than this had better practical. Oh, that's pretty terrible. Okay, so special effects, CGI looked like utter dog shit. PS1, especially the gorillas. You can see this movie took a fucking lot out of me. I might be losing my voice because of this fucking piece of shit movie. But the CGI is so fucking terrible. And it would have been awesome and badass if you really got a fucking monkey like this with red eyes, but no. It's gorillas with Down syndrome. CGI gorillas. And they look like they came from a PS1 game. Really, but a horrible PS1 game. Oh boy. And the lighting is fucking terrible in this movie. The gunplay is horseshit. Okay, let's get to the music and scores. Well, the original scores is dog shit. And it sounds like some irate, low piece of shit musician was just like, okay, let me just hit a bunch of keyboards and let me just come up with some good music. But no. Instead, he just mashes on the keyboard and it's like cheap stock music. No fucking joke intended. Oh boy. And overall, the movie itself, I regret, I regret ever watching this piece of shit. Thus the fact that I watched it on a late night. And I could have been doing something better with that late night. I could have gone to a strip club and throwing a bunch of singles at a stripper. That would have been a better time than wasting my time with this piece of shit. Sure, the the cover art looks fine and dandy, but you're asking yourself, why is this not in a DVD case? The movie is fucking terrible. The back of the cover, as it lies in its synopsis in the back. None of that shit happens in this movie. Really. It lied to me. It really did. And all it did was made me want to buy the film more. And what I thought the film was going to be was, okay, this extinct monkey is gonna fucking tear hell. But no, it's a bunch of fucking CGI gorillas and a lackluster story as well. Really, so that's why it's not in a DVD case. And also, the film gets a 0 out of 5. Why else would I do this to this piece of shit DVD? You see all the cracks in it? Yeah. Those 4 cracks? Well, yeah, it's destroyed permanently, eternally. That's right, people. I can't take shitty movies like this, really. I really can't. And it's a fucking utter disgrace. It's horrible. Yeah, all their money went into this cover. And the movie doesn't even look anything like that. It looks like it was shot on Shitty, people. Yeah, that's because it probably was shot on Shitty, but still. Congo is way more better than this shit. Alright? Jurassic Park is 10 times better than this shit. Anything that has to do with a group of people trying to find something is a lot more better than your piece of shit movie. I am still keeping the cover art because it's badass and awesome. I mean, just look at that. Alright, fine. If that monkey was really in the movie, I would have loved this movie a lot more. And if the monkey was actually real, and if this was like a sort of weird um journey slasher film, that would have been awesome and badass, but no. What the fuck did we get here? We got a generic, boring, an excuse of a film, people. That's fucking right. Cause whoever the fucking director was thought it was a bright idea. Hey, why don't I just rip off a bunch of movies that I saw before, and why don't I do it in a shitty fashion mannered way? It's really god awful. It's really that bad. 0 out of 5 stars. Really. My shit looks better than this movie. And that's more precious than this movie. Yeah, it's there for a few minutes, but after I'm done wiping my ass, it gets flushed down the toilet. Just how, like, this movie should be broken into pieces and flushed down the toilet as well. Because it's really that horrible and bad. Oh my god, man. Really. I would take that challenge to go back and watch any shitty movie that I ranted on, or did this movie sucks on, or did why was this movie made on. Yeah, I'd rather go and track those down and watch them. And hell, I'll go back and watch some of those movies and torture myself. Because that is not a punishment, as this was a punishment to me. And I'm using sarcasm, it's a fucking joke. No, I'm not gonna go back and watch all those fucking movies. Because they are terrible and lackluster at best. But if I have to go watch a movie, I'll go watch Congo. Simple as that. Congo did the story a lot better. And of course, that it didn't have no CGI fucking monkeys or gorillas as well. And it didn't have a shitty story. And it did not have shitty characters and shitty acting. That movie had good everything. Alright, I praise the shit out of Congo. This, actually, you know what? This movie actually makes me praise Congo a lot more now. Really, it really does. I'll go back whenever I can. I'll go watch Congo again. Really, Congo is 10 times better than this piece of fucking dog shit. I wish I could get my 1 hour and 30 minutes back. Really. I wish I could get it back, but I can't. I have to live with that for the rest of my life. Boy, am I gonna have to drink a lot to forget about this piece of shit, really. This is worse than any of the haters and trolls that I have right now. Yeah, this is pretty god awful and bad. It's a lot worse than Jim 99 show. Really, it fucking is. What the fuck happened? See how terrible this movie is? My computer wanted to shut off because it didn't want to hear me talking about this film anymore. But guess what? Half of the shit really has nothing going for it. Really. Congo had a lot more going for it than this piece of fucking dog shit. And guess what? It won. It won, basically, but as you could tell, this movie is just giving me a fucking headache already. Yeah, I'll keep the cover art, but I am throwing this away. I'm throwing this disc away right now. Fuck that movie. Seriously. Badass cover art, but not a good movie. Anyways, with that, I am out. Peace.